Hello friends, today we are going to learn a new poem. A poem's name is Upagupta, which is written by Rabindranath Tagore. Who was Rabindranath Tagore? Already you know that. Already we have discussed about that the life history of Rabindranath Tagore. Now we are discuss about that the introductions of Upagupta, which is mentioned in your textbook. Now we are going to study introduction. This poem is about the story of a Buddhist monk Upagupta, a disciple of Lord Buddha, and the dancing girl of Mathura, Vasudetta. Vasudetta was a famous and beautiful dancing girl. She was proud of her beauty, youth, and her wealth. Upagupta was an ascetic and epitome of kindness, wisdom, and selflessness. One dark night while walking, Vasudetta stumbles over a body of Upagupta, who was sleeping on the dusty ground. It is a little bit introductions about a poem. Poem's name is Upagupta, which is written by Rabindranath Tagore. This poem, which poem? Upagupta. Upagupta is about the story of Vasudetta and Upagupta. Who was Upagupta? Upagupta was a Buddhist monk, disciple of Lord Gautam Buddha, ascetic. He was a simple man. And Vasudetta, another character which is mentioned in our poem, that is means Vasudetta. Who was Vasudetta? Vasudetta was a dancing girl of Mathura. She was proud of her beauty, her own beauty, her wealth, and that is her youth. Already we know that. She did not know about her own beauty, reality of her own beauty. Actually, beauty is a transitory thing, transitory. Youth is also transitory. Wealth is also transitory. It is not permanent. But she did not know about that. Who knew about that? Upagupta knew about that. About the reality of beauty, reality of youth, reality of wealth. He knew that, Upagupta knew that, but she did not, Vasudetta did not know about that, the reality of these things. And so here, this poem is about the story of a Buddhist monk, Upagupta, a disciple of Lord Gautam Buddha, and the dancing girl of Mathura, that is Vasudetta. Vasudetta was a very famous and beautiful dancing girl. She was a dancing girl of Mathura. She was proud of her own beauty, her own youth, and her own wealth. She was proud, false proud. Yes, false proud. Upagupta was ascetic. Upagupta was ascetic and epitome of kindness. He was a kind person. He had kindness. Upagupta had kindness, wisdom. He was very brilliant. Wisdom, he had wisdom, and the selflessness. He was not selfish. She was selfish. She was not. That is the selfish. One dark night, what had happened? One dark night, while walking, Vasudetta stumbles over the body of Upagupta. One night, what happened? The night was very dark, and beside the wall, he slept. Who? Upagupta slept beside the wall of that is the dusty ground, or wall of Mathura. Yes, he on the dusty ground he slept. And here she stumbled. Vasudetta stumbles over the body of Upagupta, who was sleeping on the dusty ground. It is an introduction, short introductions about the poem. Now we concentrate on our poem. Poem's name is Upagupta. This poem is a philosophical poem. This poem is a descriptive poem, lengthy poem, which is given by our modern poet. Poet's name is Rabindranath Tagore. Now we concentrate on our poem. Upagupta, the disciple of a Buddha, lay asleep in the dust by the city wall of Mathura. Lamps were all out, doors were all shut, and stars were all hidden by the murky sky of August. Whose feet were those tinkling with anklet, touching his breast of a sudden, he woke up startled, and light from a woman's lamp fell on his forgiving eyes. It was a dancing girl. It was a dancing girl, star with jewels, wearing a pale blue mantle, drunk with the wine of her youth. She lowered her lamp and saw the young face austerely beautiful. Forgive me, young ascetic. Forgive me, young ascetic, said the woman graciously. Come to my house. The dusty earth is not fit bed for you. The young ascetic answered. Woman, go on your way. Woman, go on your way. When the time, young ascetic said that, when the time is ripe, I will come to you. This message is very important. This line is very important here. When the time is ripe, I will come to you. Suddenly the black night showed its teeth in a flash of lightning. The storm growled from the corner of sky, and the woman trembled in a fear of some unknown danger. As a year passed, a year has not yet passed. A year has not yet passed. It was the evening of a day in April in a spring season. The branches of the wayside trees were full of blossom. Gay notes of a flute came in floating in the warm spring air from afar. Upagupta passed through the city gates. Upagupta passed through the city gates and stood at the base of rampart. Was that woman? Was that woman lying at his feet in the shadow of the mango grove? Stuck with the black pestilence. Upagupta passed through the city gates and stood at the base of rampart. Was that woman lying at his feet in the shadow of the mango grove? Stuck with the black pestilence. Stuck with the black pestilence. Her body spotted with a source of a smallpox. She had hurriedly removed from the town to avoid the poisonous contagion. The ascetic sat by her side, took her head on his knees, and moistened her lips with the water and smeared her body with the sandal balm. Who are you, merciful one? Who are you, merciful one? Asked the woman. The time at last has come to visit you. The time at last has come to visit you, and I am here. I am here, replied the young ascetic. It is a lengthy poem, philosophical poem, descriptive poem, which is given by Rabindranath Tagore. Now we are going to study about the poem stanza by stanza. Now we concentrate on stanza number 1. Upagupta, the disciple of a Buddha, lay asleep in the dust by the city wall of Mathura. Lamps were all out, doors were all shut, and stars were all hidden by the murky sky of August. Upagupta. Who was Upagupta? Upagupta was a disciple of a Buddha. Disciple means that is a student or follower of a religious leader. Shishya, like that. In Marathi, we said that is a Shishya, follower of a religious leader. Upagupta, the disciple of Lord Gautam Buddha, lay asleep in the dust by the city wall of Mathura. He slept beside the city wall of Mathura. There was a wall, big wall of Mathura, and beside the wall of Mathura, he slept. There was no bed for him. There was no blanket for him. Means here the ground is a bed for our Upagupta, and what is a blanket? Sky is a blanket for our Upagupta, like that. Upagupta, the disciple of Buddha, lay asleep in the dust. By the city wall of Mathura, lamps were all out. Means there was no light, there was no current, there was no light, there was no light. Everywhere there is a darkness. Everywhere there is a darkness. The lamps were all out. There is no lamps. Everywhere there is a darkness. Lamps were all out. Doors were all shut. And so that's why all doors of the houses, yes, they were all shut down. The doors were all shut, and the stars. Where is the stars? Where is the stars? Stars are in the sky. The stars, what is the features of the stars? Stars are always bright. Brightness. Star gives brightness. Star gives brightness. The stars were all hidden by the murky sky of the August, and the month was August. And in those days, month of August, the sky is a murky sky. There is a cloudy sky. There is no brightness. Everywhere there is a darkness. So the stars were hidden by the murky sky of August. And month was August. आणि या ऑगस्टच्या महिन्यामध्ये सगळीकडे वातावरण जे असतं ते ढगाळ असतं, आणि या ढगाळ वातावरणामध्ये हे जे स्टार ब्राईट स्टार्स आहेत ते सुद्धा हिडन झालेले आहेत. म्हणजेच थोडक्यात देर इज नो ब्राईटनेस. देर इज नो ब्राईटनेस मीन्स देर इज अ डार्कनेस. एव्हरीवेअर देर इज अ डार्कनेस. देर इज नो ब्राईटनेस. इट शोज अस. दिस इज द फर्स्ट स्टांजा. नाउ वी टर्न टू द सेकंड स्टांजा. Whose feet were those tinkling with anklets, touching his breast of sudden, he woke up startled, and the light from a woman's lamp fell on his forgiving eyes. Whose feet were those tinkling with anklets? Tinkling means that is a making a pleasant metallic sound. जो आवाज म्हणतो, घुंगरांचा आवाज. Tinkling of the with anklets. आणि पायामध्ये घुंगूर बांधलेले आहेत, कुरी बांधलेले आहेत. दॅट इज अ वासव दत्ता. हुज फीट मीन्स हुज. दॅट इज अवर वासव दत्ता's feet पाय. She was a rich woman. She was rich. Such are the words. Ankling, that is or the anklet shows us. Twinkling with anklet shows us. Such are the words shows us she was very rich. She was proud of her own wealth. She was proud of her own beauty. Already we know that. And now here, whose feet were those tinkling with anklet, touching his breast. His breast means whose breast? Breast means छाती, शरीरचा भाग. त्या छातीला ती अडखळते आणि आपण म्हणतो त्याला टच करते, स्पर्श करते. तिचा पाय तो स्पर्श होतो. Touching his breast of sudden. The question mark is that. Question mark is that. आता क्वेश्चन मार्क ठेवलेला आहे. मग ते अचानक असेल, मुद्दामून असेल मे बी. बट he touched the body of that our Upagupta. Now the Upagupta slept beside the wall of Mathura in the darkness, on that the dusty ground. He slept there, but what happened? Yes, she touched his breast. Suddenly she touched to that the breast of Upagupta. And next, now we concentrate next line. He woke up startled. And now he was surprised. Who? Upagupta. Why he was surprised? Because someone touched his body. Because someone touched the breast of Upagupta. And now he was surprised. Who touched his body? So that's why he was touched. And then he woke up with startle. He woke up. Who? He means who? That is our Upagupta. Woke up startled. And light from that woman's lamp, and she took such the lamp while walking. She took such a lamp. She had such a lamp, and with the help of that lamp, yes, she touched to the body. Light from a woman's lamp fell on his forgiving eyes. For his forgiving eyes. Whose forgiving eyes? That is our Upagupta. Upagupta's forgiving eyes. Forgiving means what? Forgiving म्हणजे काय? That is our merciful. That is our merciful. Merciful eyes. He was a mercy. Yes, he was a merciful person. He had mercy. He had such a kindness. He was a good person. He was a simple man. And now he slept on the dusty ground. He was alone there. And now here. And such the lamp. And तो जो प्रकाश होता, जी लॅम्प ते हातामध्ये घेऊन येत होती आणि जो प्रकाश होता त्याच्या चेहऱ्यावरती पडलेला होता. He woke up startled, and a light from a woman's lamp fell on his forgiving eyes. Forgiving eyes. This is the one. Now we turn to the next stanza. It was a dancing girl, star with jewels, wearing a pale blue mantle, drunk with the wine of her youth. She lowered her lamp and saw a young face austerely beautiful. And then he understood himself who she was. Yes, who she was. It was a dancing girl. It was a dancing girl. Who was a dancing girl? That is our Vasudhatta. Vasudhatta was a dancing girl of Mathura. Dancing girl of Mathura. It was a dancing girl starred with the jewels. She put on different types of ornaments, different types of that is the jewels. It means that, it indicates that she was a rich woman. She was a rich girl. This is one. It was a dancing girl starred with the jewel, wearing a pale blue mantle. Pale blue mantle. Mantle means it is a type of that is a dress she put on. That is a loose cloak. झग्यासारखं अशा पद्धतीचा एक ड्रेस तिने परिधान केला होता. She put on such a pale blue mantle. Pale blue, that is a dress. Blue color. Yes? The dress of color is that is blue. Pale blue. Faint blue. Pale means blue means that is a faint blue she put on. आणि एक अशा पद्धतीचा ब्ल्यू निळ्या रंगाचा फेंट निळ्या रंगाचा परिधान म्हणजे ड्रेस असा परिधान केला होता. You see in your picture, you will get an idea. He woke up wearing a pale blue mantle, drunk with the wine of her youth. This phrase, which is given in your glossary, what is the meaning of this phrase, drunk with the wine of her youth? The meaning of this phrase is that proud of her beauty and youth. The meaning which is given in your glossary, you see that? What is the meaning of? That is a drunk with the wine of her youth, the proud of her own youth and the beauty. It is the meaning of this line or the words. And so here means she was proud of her own beauty, she was proud of her own youth, she was proud of, that is a wealth. आणि तिला गर्व होता, आपल्या सौंदर्याचा गर्व होता, पैशांचा गर्व होता, तिच्या जवानीचा म्हणतो, यवनाचा म्हणतो, पण यवन अवस्थेचा तिला गर्व होता. आणि म्हणून wearing a pale blue mantle, drunk with the wine of her youth, she lowered her lamp. She lowered her lamp and saw young face austerely beautiful. And now here she lowered her lamp. आणि तिने हळूवारपणे असा म्हणजे जो प्रकाश होता तो कमी केला. She lowered her lamp and she saw a young face. Whose young face she saw? Upagupta's young face. He was a young person. He was a young person. He saw the young face austerely beautiful. Austerely beautiful. Yes, he's austerely beautiful. And his face looked like that. Austerely she saw, such as the face of Upagupta she saw. Now we concentrate on the next stanza. Forgive me, young ascetic, said the woman, graciously come to my house. The dusty earth is not a fit bed for you. The young ascetic answered, woman, go on your way. Go on your way. Forgive me, young ascetic, said the woman. Who was a woman? Woman was that is a Vasudhatta. And when she touched his body, after that she understood herself what happened. And then here she said to that the person, that the Upagupta, she said, forgive me, young ascetic. Young ascetic means, the word young ascetic is a refer to our Upagupta. And young ascetic ha shabd kunala jato? That is Upagupta. Yes, that is a Upagupta here. Young ascetic, said the woman, and again she said to that the invite. She invited to that our Upagupta, graciously come to my house. Graciously, kindly. Graciously means kindly. Graciously come to my house. The dusty earth, he slept on the dusty earth. And then the year when she saw, he slept on the dusty ground. After that she said that the dusty earth is not a fit bed for you. The earth, the dusty earth is not suitable for you. According to that the woman, according to that the Vasudhatta. Yes, now here the dusty earth is not a fit bed for you. What is the reply? What is the reply of a young ascetic? Young ascetic means that is the Upagupta. What is the reply of Upagupta? Young ascetic answered, woman, go on your way. Woman, who was a woman? Vasudhatta. Go on your way. तुम्ही तुमच्या घरी जा. Go, woman, go on your way. And next line is a very important. Now I will continue the next stanza. When the time is arrived, I will come to you. Suddenly the black night showed its teeth in a flash of lightning. The storm growled from the corner of the sky, and the woman trembled in fear of some unknown danger. When Vasudhatta invited to Upagupta to come to her house, the reply of our Upagupta was like that, woman, go on your way, no problem. And next line is very important. When the time is right, when the time will come, yes, definitely I will come to your house. Definitely I will come to your house. It is not now, it is not a suitable time to come to your house. But when the time will arrive, when time will be ripened, definitely I will come to your house. No problem. When the time is arrived, I will come to you. And when he said, you see, there are so many changes in environment. So many the changes. Yes, you see. Suddenly, the black night showed its teeth. Suddenly, the black night showed its teeth in a flash of lightning. Everywhere, what happened? The flash of lightning. आणि ज्यावेळेला तो म्हणतो उपगुप्ता म्हणतो वासवदत्ताला, ज्यावेळेला टाइम येईल त्यावेळेला मी तुझ्या घरी येईन, ज्यावेळेला अडचण असेल त्यावेळेला मी तुझ्या नक्कीच घरी येईन असं म्हटल्याबरोबर सगळ्या ठिकाणी जे वातावरणात जे बदल आहेत ते बदल आपल्याला दिसून येत आहेत. लागलीच विजा चमकतायत, गडगडाट होत आहेत. Yes, now here you see, when suddenly the black night showed its teeth. दात दाखवणे no. Everywhere there is a flash of lightning everywhere. The storm वादळ growling, गुरगुरल्यासारखं आता गुरगुरत नाही. Yes, the storm growl means वादळ मोठमोठ्यानं वाहत आहे. The storm growl from the corner of the sky. आणि जिकडून तिकडून वादळ yes, पाहायला मिळतं, गडगडाट होतोय, विजा चमकतायत, वातावरण हॉरिबल झालेलं आहे. Climate is very horrible now. The storm growled from the corner of sky. Woman, now what was the condition of the woman? Woman was totally trembled, totally feared. She was trembling, थरथरायला लागले. Yes, she was afraid. Vasudata was afraid. The woman trembled in fear of some unknown danger. आणि जणू काही तर आता वेगळा अननोन डेंजर होतं की काय असं तिला म्हणजे वाटायला लागलंय आणि ती कम्प्लीट इथं भीती आहे. She was trembled. The woman trembled in a fear of some coming danger, unknown danger. She was totally, that is our tremble with fear. She was totally afraid. Yes, and now here we turn to the next stanza. A year has not yet passed. A year has not yet passed. It was a evening of a day in April in a spring season. The branches of the wayside trees were full of blossom. Gay notes of a flute came floating in the warm spring air from afar. A year has. Now this means there is a lot of gap between that the incident and after, means within a year. Yes, year has not yet passed. वर्ष न जातं within a year. A year has not yet passed. It was a evening of a day in April. The month of April. The season is that is a spring season. Spring season month, that is the April month. And the time was a evening time. It was a evening of a day in a April in a spring season. The branches of the wayside, आणि रस्त्याकडच्या असलेल्या झाडांच्या ज्या फांद्या आहेत. The branches of the wayside trees were full of blossom. आणि त्या भरलेल्या आहेत, फुलं आलेली आहेत पानांना. म्हणजे नवीन झाडांना ती म्हणतो नवीन पालवी फुटलेली आहे. द स्प्रिंग सीझन, इट इज अ फीचर्स ऑफ दॅट द स्प्रिंग सीझन. आणि या स्प्रिंग सीझन वसंत ऋतूमध्ये आपल्याला हे पाहायला मिळतं की नवीन झाडांना पालवी फुटते आणि जे वातावरण ते आहे. यस, इट इज अ गुड क्लायमेट, सुटेबल क्लायमेट. A year has not yet passed. It was the evening of a day in April in a spring season. The branches of the wayside trees were full of blossom. Gay notes of a flute came floating in the warm spring air from afar. The gay notes means the tune of the flute. बासरी म्हणतो, या बासरीचा आवाज येस फ्लोटिंग होतो, तरंगत इकडं असं कोणत्या तरी एका भागातून होतो. म्हणजे जे वातावरण असतं स्प्रिंग सीझन मधलं जे वातावरण होतं ते आनंददायक असतं. पक्षी सुद्धा गाणं गातात, हे आपल्याला सुद्धा माहिती आहे. जिकडं तिकडं आवाज, सुंदर असा आवाज, कारण त्या पद्धतीचं ते वातावरण त्या स्प्रिंग सीझन मध्ये आपल्याला पाहायला मिळतं. गेज नोट्स ऑफ अ फ्लूट केम फ्लोटिंग इन द वॉर्म स्प्रिंग एअर फ्रॉम अफार, फ्रॉम अ लॉंग डिस्टन्स. अफार मीन्स फ्रॉम अ लॉंग डिस्टन्स. असं लांबून असं ठिकाणी एखाद्या बासरीचा आवाज इकडे येताना म्हणजे ऐकायला आपल्याला मिळतो आहे. वातावरण, the climate is very important in a spring season, such as the climate which is shown in this the stanza here. The branches of the wayside trees were full of blossom. Gay note of a flute came floating in the air, in the warm spring air from afar. Now we turn to the next stanza. Upagupta passed through the city gates and stood at the base of a rampart. Was that woman lying at his feet in the shadow of the mango grove? And within a year, what happened? One day, Upagupta passed through the city gates of Mathura. Yes, there was a gate. Yes, there was a gate to that. The means actually the rampart was there. Tatabandi, rampart means Tatabandi. And for that the rampart there is a one gate, and when the Upagupta passed through the city gates, and he stood at the base of rampart. The rampart means Tattabandi. The meaning of the rampart is given here. You see the meaning of the rampart means already given in a glossary. A high wide wall of the earth built around the castle or the town. Yes, the meaning of the that word rampart is given in your glossary. Upagupta passed through the city gates and stood at the base of rampart. Base of rampart. आणि तिथं जाऊन तो तटबंदीवरती उभा राहतो आणि तो he observed there. and he saw a woman. When he stood at the base of the rampart, he saw a woman, and he reminded the past life, past event. He reminded the past event, and now here you see, was that woman? Which woman? Last woman. Last. When she touched his body, he reminded such the woman, and so such the questions came in the mind. Maybe there is long distance between that is our Upagupta now, Upagupta and that the woman. And so here, such the questions came in his mind. Was that woman lying at his feet? Lying at his feet in the shadow of the mango grove? Mango grove means amrai. Yes, तीच ती woman का, तीच जी touch केली होती थी. Yes. Yes, was that woman lying at his feet in the shadow of the mango grove? Maybe, yes, mango grove, amrai मध्ये तीच ती woman का. Yes, like that. Stuck with the black pestilence, her body. Stuck with the black pestilence, her body spotted with the sores of a smallpox. She had hurriedly removed from the town to avoid the poisonous contagion. The ascetic sat by her side, took her head on his the needs. And now here, already given, stuck. What was her condition? What was her condition? Her condition was a bad condition. She suffered a lot. She was facing the problem of a black pestilence. Black pestilence means the black spotted on her body, entire body. She was facing such the problem. She was facing about the disease, and the disease was infectious disease. Infectious disease. The black pestilence means already given in your glossary. Yes, dead epidemic disease. Dead epidemic disease already given. Its meaning black pestilence. आणि तिचं शरीर आहे ते शरीर संपूर्ण असं ब्लॅक काळे म्हणतो स्पॉट होते. ते स्पॉट असं प्रत्येक शरीरभर ते पसरलेले आहेत. अशी ते विद्रूप अवस्था, कुरूप अवस्था या स्त्रीची झालेली आहे. आणि पहिला ज्या वेळेला आपण बघतो त्यावेळेला तिला गर्व होता, सौंदर्यावरती गर्व होता, तिच्या यौवनावस्थेवरती गर्व होता, किंवा तिच्या संपत्तीवर तिचा गर्व होता. हे सगळं होतं आणि आज त्या स्त्रीची अवस्था कुरूप अशी झालेली आहे, विद्रूप अशी अवस्था झालेली आहे. यू सी दॅट मीन्स यू ट्राय टू अंडरस्टँड ब्युटी, youth and the wealth. Three things are not permanent. You try to understand this. Yes, you should try to understand this. And now here, stuck with her body was stuck with the black pestilence. Her body spotted with the sores of smallpox. Smallpox is a name of the infectious disease. Smallpox हा संसर्गजन्य रोग आहे. त्याला आपण we say in Marathi that is a देवी रोग. Smallpox. Small, the pox here, and her body. And smallpox वैशिष्ट्य असं असतं, देवी रोग असा असतो की त्या देवी रोग झाला की आपल्या चेहऱ्यावरती, शरीरावरती असे मोठमोठे असे डाग आलेले असतात, असे पुरळ मोठे आलेले असतात. ब्लॅक पेस्टिलन्स लाईक दॅट. विद्रूपता झालेली आहे. हर बॉडी स्पॉटेड विथ द सोर्स ऑफ स्मॉल पॉक्स. शी हॅड हरीली रिमूव्ड फ्रॉम द टाउन. अँड व्हॉट हॅपन? इन्फेक्शियस डिसीज. Infectious disease. And so that's why the villager rejected to that the woman. Her villager rejected to that the woman. Now she became a rejected woman. Rejected woman. And so here she had hurriedly removed from the town. आणि तिला तिच्या शहरातून घालवलेलं आहे. तेथील लोकांनी त्याला शहरातून घालवलं आहे कारण तो संसर्गजन्य रोग आहे. आणि जर तिथं राहिली तर त्याही लोकांना होऊ शकतो, म्हणून त्या लोकांनी त्याला बहिष्कृत केलेला आहे, बाहेर केलेला आहे. And now her condition was like that. She had hurriedly removed from the town to avoid the poisonous. Why they removed? Why? there is a villager removed that the girl, that the woman from that the town, because to avoid the poisonous contagion. अवॉइड म्हणजे टाळणे आणि जो कॉन्टॅजियस जे पॉयझनस द कॉन्टॅजियन जे आहे ते टाळावं म्हणजे संसर्गजन्य रोग टाळण्यासाठी तिला त्या गावातून घातलेला आहे बहिष्कृत केलेला आहे शी बिकेम अ रिजेक्टेड वुमन She had hurriedly removed from the town to avoid her poisonous contagion. The ascetic sat by her side, and what happened? The ascetic, who was the ascetic? Who was the ascetic? That is our Upagupta. Upagupta sat by her side. Her condition was very horrible, and so that's why he had a kindness. Who? Our Upagupta had a kindness. Due to his kindness, he helped to that the woman. He supported to that the woman mentally. He supported mentally to that the woman. He tried to give such the help, different types of the help to that the woman. And now here the ascetic Upagupta sat by her side, took her head. Upagupta took her head on his knees. आणि तो तिचं डोकं आपल्या मांडीवरती घेतो. तिला जेवढं होतं तेवढं त्याला हेल्प करतो, सपोर्ट करतो. And so here the ascetic sat by her side, took her head on his knees. The moisten her lips with water. Moisten means he moistened her lips with water. He gave water. Maybe she was thirsty. And so here he gave. Upagupta gave water to that the woman. Moisten her lips with water and smeared her body with the sandal balm. And now applied. Smeared means that is applied. And तो जे balm म्हणतो तो balm, sandal balm. तो सॅन्डल बाम तो काय करतो तिच्या शरीरावरती जे ब्लॅक पेस्टिलन्स होते त्या ब्लॅक पेस्टिलन्समध्ये ब्लॅक स्पॉट होते त्या स्पॉटना तो स्मिअर्ड करतो, अप्लाइड करतो, लावतो म्हणतो. Smeared her body with a sandal balm. And then here, who are you, merciful? Asked the woman. She could not understand who he was. But he understood who she was. And so here, when he gave such the water to that the woman, when the smeared her body with a sandal balm, and then she said to that person, who are you? आपण कोण आहात? Merciful one. असा दयाळू माणूस तुम्ही कोण आहात? Who are you, merciful one? Asked the woman. And what is the reply of Upagupta? It's very important. The two lines are very important here. And this last, that is the two lines, is refer to the stanza number 5. What is the stanza number 5? You see? Woman, go on your way. When the time is right, I will come to you. You go to the stanza number 5, you will get its answer. And now here we turn to the last stanza here. Last two lines are very important. These two lines are concerned to that the stanza number 5. The time at last has come to visit you, and I am here, replied the young ascetic. The time at last has come to visit you. आणि ती जी वेळ होती तुला भेटायची, जी वेळ होती ती आत्ता आलेली आहे. Yes, now here the time at last has come to visit you, and I am here, said a young ascetic, or replied young ascetic. It's so very important here. What is the reply of that? That is the time came. Now the time came to help to you. And so here means how he was. He was a merciful one. He was a good person. His nature was a simple nature. How he helped to that the woman who got in a difficulties, who was facing the problem of that the smallpox, black pestilence everywhere. There was a black pestilence on her body, spotted on her body. He smeared such a the sandal balm entire on her body. It's very important. And so here means you try to understand. She was a proud. Another thing is that she was a proud of her own beauty, youth, and wealth. You try to understand. Once again, you try to understand. You don't do like that. You don't follow the nature or the nature of that the woman. You don't follow. Why? Because we know that three things: youth, beauty, and wealth are transitory. Transitory. It's not a permanent. Not a permanent. And so that's why this is a poem. This poem is a philosophical poem which is given by our modern poet, philosopher, thinker. Thinker's name is Rabindranath Tagore. We'll see afterwards. Thank you very much.